Stoked to be here with my man, Mr. B, the MMA guy, the former Periscope legend himself. How you doing, my man, Mr. B?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Stoked to be here with you. Talk about a little bit of UFC going on this week. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. Firstly, we got the UFC going down Saturday. We got Bellator and One Fight Championships on Friday. So it should be pretty exciting for all the people who love combat and the like. So I appreciate all you here live tuning in. I'd like to shout out our sponsors, Melon Brand Hats, luxury line of hats. That's MELIN. Some really sweet hats that my boy Brian McDonald's one of the co-founders. He dreamed it up in high school. They have super dope materials. Some have waterproof bills that are like wetsuit material. Some are really warm for the winter. So shout out to Melon Brand Hats. Also shout out to Fokai Stuff, FOKAI Stuff.com. Guam mailing gear. My boy Rome from Guam started a dope company over there with his island Familia. So shout out to them for getting us some dope gear. They have shirts, beanies, baby blankets, doormats, socks, all kinds of cool stuff. So also Spliff Seeds Amsterdam, SPLIFF Seeds. It's MJ Genetics. So if you like growing MJ, go over there to the website, look up Lemon Cream Kush female, and the picture there featured is of my plant that I actually grew. It's also on the cover of a book on Amazon from a famous grower in the UK named Sean Prana, Prana. What's up, Chris Hemble? I appreciate you being here from Facebook, my dude, and tuning in. Thank you for your service as well. Um, so yeah, this weekend is going to be UFC Fight Night, also known as UFC Vegas 44. It's going to be Jose Aldo versus Rob Font. There's no UFC to break down from last week and no bets. Me and Mr. B been fiending for a little bit of combat. The boxing match though from last weekend was some fire though, huh? B? Was it
Oh my God.
Lopez versus what's how do you say his last name?
Teofimo Lopez versus George Cambosos.
Dude,
Cambosos.
Combosos, dude, came with the fire, man, and that it was a great scrap between them two. Lopez was, yeah, I couldn't believe he lost, but it was just such a good fight that I could have seen it either way. So at least we got a little bit of boxing in between the MMA break. So, but with that said, man, we're here for your MMA entertainment and to break down some bets for this weekend's upcoming UFC and to cash them motherfucking bets. So the first fight of the night, we have Luis Smoka, OG vet, versus Vince Morales. Luis Smoka is 17-7, calls himself the last samurai. He's 30 years old. He's 5'9", with a 68.5-inch reach. He's on a one-fight win streak, fighting out of Hawaii, baby. Shout out to the 808 over there. Max Holloway, the Blessed Express, huge fan. And then Kendall Grove, one of my boys, the Spider. And then Rude Boy Troy Mandalones. So shout out to all of them, the OG tough and ex UFC fighters. So we got Luis Smoka last took on Jose Alberto Quinones, and he smoked him ground and pound. Round two looked really good, man. Then he fought Casey Kenny, lost in a one-arm guillotine choke round one. And Casey Kenny's pretty good, so I don't know what to say there. But then he beat Ryan McDonald by hooks, and he lost the match Chanel. So he's been on and off multiple times, man. And so last time he won, so this should be the time possibly he loses if you believe in that type of shenanigans. But he's taking on Vince Morales. Vince Morales called himself Vendetta. He's got a record of 10-5. He's 31 years old. He's 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. He's on a one-fight win streak fighting at Ontario, Oregon, baby. Shout out to the West Coast. His wrestling base. He last took on Draco Rodriguez. He won a unanimous decision. Draco was 7-2, and then he lost to Chris Gutierrez by leg kicks when Chris Gutierrez just beat the absolute piss out of Vince Morales' legs that fight. And he lost to leg kicks round two. Then he lost to Benito Lopez, unanimous decision. So this is the fight here that's, Luis Smoka's got really good scrambles, transitions. If Luis Smoka's there, he's got enough veteranship in him where I think that this is a fight where he should win. Did they take this fight off of the card? No, okay. Sorry. The odds right now are Luis Smoka -150 on Bovada, +125 comeback for Vince Morales. I have a slight favorite, exactly, pretty much Luis Smoka. I think because he's the OG, because he has some gas left in his tank, I'd have to favor him here. But if you like Vince Morales and you like his gas tank, he possibly could do it for you. But it's going to be hairy and possibly, most likely, be a decision. So I'd go there. But what do you think about this fight between Luis Smoka and Vince Morales, Mr. B?
I like this fight. It's a good fight. I would lean more towards Smoker over Morales because Morales is kind of iffy. His last fight, he finally was able to use his wrestling. Sorry if you don't see me on the screen. I'm making coffee, so I didn't want to have me just empty in front
You're
there,
good.
so that's why I had this up.
Mr.
But
B
yeah,
just came back from Bible study and jumped right on for you guys. I love having Mr. B on, so just like to wait for him as much as I can. So he worked out perfect timing.
yeah. So yeah, Smoka has that range. He has good jujitsu. Hello.
You're good.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're good.
He has good jujitsu. Pretty level range. You know what I mean with the striking. Morales uses his takedowns and whatnot. He finally started using his takedowns because he was getting beat up on the feet by a lot of guys. The thing is that he doesn't just necessarily use his wrestling and his striking like together. He's starting to put it together now. So it's kind of a funny matchup stylistic wise. But due to the veteranship, Smokers fall more higher competition. So I would lean more towards Smoker on this one. But it is somewhat of a coin flip, man, because we don't know what Vince Morales we're going to get in this one.
Yeah, this is a no bet for me. If I knew what we were gonna get, then I would bet on Smoka, because I like the veteran. But I don't know what Smoka's gonna do. Sometimes he's real good and sometimes he's not, and it is what it is. So just one of those fights. Shout out to Ted Hicks, one of my boys and sponsors over here, always supporting the show. Me and Mr. B absolutely love him. Thank you for the celebration award that you just threw out. I can't thank you enough for always supporting us in our endeavors, man. So with that said, that's Luis Smoka versus Vince Morales. Got a little long-winded on it, but that's okay. Alex Murano versus Mickey Gall is the next fight, Mr. B, and it's going to be a fun one. Alex Murano calls himself the Great White. He's 20-7. He's 31 years old. He's 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight win streak, fighting out of Houston, Texas, baby. Shout out to the Texas barbecue out there. Last took on David Zawada and looked amazing, man. And David Zawada's pretty dangerous. He won a unanimous decision and just worked them all around the cage. Then he beat Donald Cerrone, TKO punches, standing. But that's, Donald. I love you, Donald. But that wasn't the real Donald's Cowboy Cerrone. That was just a shell of him. So he beat him round 1. Then he lost to Anthony Pettis when Anthony Pettis decided to show up and dominate him in unanimous decision. So, Alex Morano's been smoked one time by Chaos Williams in round 1. But Chaos Williams brings some power that we've seen that just is devastating. So I can't hate on I can't hate on Alex Murano at all. And he's got really good jiu-jitsu and decent striking, but he's taking on Mickey Gall here, who's 7-3. He's infamous for fighting CM Punk. The UFC was trying to push for just some ratings. He's 29 years old. He's 6'2" with a 74-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight win streak fighting out of Jersey. Dude is basically a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's been training with Joe Schilling and the likes for a little bit, and I believe maybe Matt Brown as well, and just getting the striking into there and doing pretty decent, evolving. He was all jiu-jitsu all the way, pretty much had no striking, and he seems to be doing better. He last took on Jordan Williams, and he won rear naked choke round 1. That was Jordan Williams. I'm not trying to be mean to Jordan Williams, but I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. Then he took on Mike Perry, lost a unanimous decision. Mike Perry's a tough son of a bitch, even though you hate him or love him. He's just tough, man. He's like the Dennis Rodman of MMA over here. He lost to Mike Perry, and then he beat Salim, and he lost to Diego Sanchez round 2. So, man, Alex Murano here, I feel like has just as good, equal to, or better than Mickey Gall. I believe Mickey Gall is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Black belt in jiu-jitsu now under David Aviv, and then Alex Murano I believe he is a brown belt. No, black belt too. So 2nd degree. So they're both black belts. They're on the ground. They're both. I mean, I got Alex Murano to take all of Mickey Gall's skills away from him. The only thing that Mickey Gall is going to have is size. And if it can somehow translate into some power and clip Alex Murano, then Alex Murano is going to be in for a rude night. But the odds right now have a -230 favorite for Alex Murano, plus 185 comeback from Mickey Gall. So they're seeing it the same way. I think Alex Murano rolls here. What do you say, B?
I'd take that too. Because I don't like how Mickey Gall takes shots, man.
Yep.
Mickey Gall kind of fades when it comes to certain fights. He tends to crumble, man, especially if people could have decent power and could just land on his chin quite often. Yeah, he tends to crumble, back off and whatnot from game plan. Mickey Gall can jiu-jitsu, of course, But Murano has that wrestling and he has jiu-jitsu behind him. He's fought the much more better competition. He knows how to be in those wars. He can fight with a leveled game plan. And he's been really tested. I think this is one of those fights where Mickey Gall has to do his best to win. But I think it's going to be a little bit too tough for a guy like Murano, man. As we said, Murano just beat David Zawada, and Zawada's a big old beast. I can't see Murano beating Zawada and then losing to Gall here. That's crazy to me. So I definitely got to lean towards Murano in this one here, man. Sorry, Mickey, but it's not going to be so fine for you, Doug.
Not going to be so fine at all, man. So the next fight of the night is going to be some big old boys, man. I'm going to let you jump into this one first, Mr. B. It's between Jared Bandera and Azmat Murakanov.
Murzakanov.
There you go. Even better. Good pronunciation.
Thank you. Azamat Murzakanov, man. 10-0 versus Jared Bandera. Bandera. Well, yeah, Jared Bandera, who was 12-6. Bandera's had a weird run, but first off, let's go into Azmat, man, the professional. Azmat Murzakanov. 10-0. 35 years old. Competing in, well, he's going to be moving up in heavyweight, I think. This is, but he last fought at light heavyweight. 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Of course, 10 fight win streak. Representing Russia. His last fight was on this year's Contender Series. He fought Matheus Scheffel. Scheffel was a kickboxer out of Brazil. Yeah, and he flatlined this guy Scheffel within one round. Right hook to ground strikes. Before his UFC tenure, he had almost a 2-year hiatus. He fought Mohamed Fakhreddin, knocked him out with an uppercut in round 1. Guido Innocente, who formerly fought for the UFC, if I remember correctly, but fought in Glory Kickboxing, beat him by decision. And Gregory Sakaev, there you go. He beat an ACB 57 with KO due to punches. This guy is a Sambo specialist, but he handles a lot of good things with his hands. He also fought Andre Muniz, which is kind of weird because Muniz is a middleweight right now.
Yeah, smaller.
Yeah.
He fights at 205 usually, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Muniz is now Yeah. Muniz is fighting now as a middleweight, which is crazy. But yeah, man, Murzakanov has a pretty good level of skill here, man. Sambo specialist, nasty strikes, KO ability, very fast, man. He's fighting Jared Bandera, and Jared Bandera, man, the Mountain, 12-6. Represents, who is it? Team Quest. There you go. 29 years old, as a heavyweight, 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. That is scary. He has like a 9-inch reach advantage over this dude. Yeah. Representing out of Washington. Currently on a 1-fight losing streak, right? Yeah. He lost to Romanov. Last fight he lost to Alexander Romanov.
King Kong?
That was in August. Yeah, King Kong, man. Ground and pound in round 2. He beat Justin Tafa. That was that whole striking fest that they had, where he had a high-level output of strikes. He looked really good in the stand-up, but that was against Justin Tafa, though. Tafa just pretty much stands there and waits to get hit so he can hit you back. He's like Mark Hunt, just a little bit more slimmer. And then Sergey Spivak, he had lost to Sergey. Ground and pound as well. Bandera is a weird case. He got in here during the 2020 season, last year's Contender Series, when he beat Harry Huntsucker, where he gets picked off on the feet, but he could wrestle. But for some weird reason, his fight IQ was like ass backwards. Yeah, he doesn't wrestle much. He likes to strike a lot. He only wrestles when he sees himself in trouble. That's very backwardish almost. I feel that he's going to need to use his wrestling at some point of this fight because you have to offset this guy Murzakanov because he's going to look to piece you up on the feet. you got to sneak in those takedowns somehow, some way, and fight more calculated. Don't try to go in there in desperation takedown or try that stupid high-level output shit that you're going to do, that you try to do beforehand, because Murzakanov is somewhat of a sniper. He knows when to take his time, and he's pretty damn fast because he fought as a light heavyweight before. So he has that speed. He has that speed. I believe he'll have that cardio. He has that deceptive strength. So I'm definitely looking to see Murzakanov possibly get a first round finish. Nothing past the third round. I don't see past the third round here. No.
I absolutely agree, man. Shout out to Boxing MMA, my boy Gary, Boxing MMA 365. I appreciate you for giving me all those awards, the Bomb Award, the One Award, the Double Burst Award. I appreciate you and those donations, man. They make sure that, like I said, we get dope cameras, we get dope content, and we make sure that everything is nice and clean, man. So with this fight here, Azamat, this dude generates a ton of power in a very short space. The only thing here, he's going to be outsized. He's fought a guy that's 6'2" before, and he smoked him round one before. So a couple more inches ain't going to help Jared Bandera. Jared Bandera is very sloppy. I'm sorry to say he's not very professional in the sense of like his cardio, his work ethic. I don't know if it's just me not being fond of him. Like I said, he's only going to have a little bit of size here, and he's got to pray that he can make it through all 3 rounds. But I feel like Azamat, with the power that he generates in a short distance, he's going to smoke him, man. He's been smoking almost every single one of the 10, almost all 10 of his wins are in round 1 by punch. And I don't think it's going to be any different here. So Jared Bandera is going down. The next fight of the night is Claudio Pules versus Chris Gudesmucker. Claudio Pules calls himself El Nino. He's 10-2. He's 25 years old. He's 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. He's on a 3-fight win streak, fight out of Lima, Peru. Last took on Jordan Levitt, and he won a unanimous decision. Then he took on Marcos Murano, won a unanimous decision, but that dude was 6-5. And then he beat Felipe Silva, UFC Fight Night by knee bar, and he lost to Martin Bravo. This dude was one of the Latin Ultimate Fighter contestants that ended up, getting matched up against Martin Bravo and a couple other people that ended up just, cleaning his lights out. When he was a little bit young. He still is young, man. He's only 25 years old. He's been progressing pretty well. He has really good striking and knees. A decent ground game at that. And he's taking on an old-timer here, man. Chris Gudesmucker. I don't know if it's just me not just too high on him, but he called himself Grits. He's 15-4. He's 35 years old. He's 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight win streak, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. American top team, one of the best teams down there with Mike Brown, Dustin Poirier, George Gamebred, and the likes, all down there. Gilbert Burns, I believe in. He last took on Rafa Garcia, and I couldn't believe that he beat him, man. Won a unanimous decision. I lost my ass on that bet. Then he lost to Alexander Hernandez, round 1 hooks. He beat Joe Lozon, which is pretty impressive. Joe Lozon. Then he lost to Davey Ramos, who's a BJJ stud. But Chris Gudesmucker, this dude's tapped multiple times. He's napped before from punches twice. I can't trust anyone who's tapped and napped that much. He's taking on Claudio Pules, who's just younger. I like Claudio Pules better here, man. I think he's got a higher upside. I think that he's just all around a little bit better. It's a pick 'em down the line, -110 for each of them, so $110 to make 100. Like I said, I just like Claudio Pules here over Chris Gudesmucker, but maybe that's just the age factor and the youth and everything. But what do you say, B?
I gotta take Claudio here, man. The way Claudio fought Jordan Levitt, was really impressive to me. He out-grappled Levitt. I didn't expect that. He out-grappled him. He outsized him. In some cases, somewhat outpaced him. Was a very interesting fight, man. Gudesmucker. Well, Gudesmucker's fought a couple guys here and there, you know what I mean? He was on tough. He's a gritty guy, He did beat Garcia's last fight. I was upset by that. I thought Garcia, I thought he was going to beat Garcia. I thought he was going to lose to Garcia. I thought Garcia was going to beat him, but he came through, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't think Claudio's going to leave those types of openings there for Chris in this one, man. I feel like Claudio should be able to get in there, land his shots when necessary, change levels when necessary. I don't think Chris is going to offer those types of looks really much for Claudio to get tangled up in something or, you know what I mean, get caught by surprise. No, I don't think so, man. I would lean more towards the styles of Claudio in this one, man, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, to pick him and down the middle, I'd like this dude, Claudio. He's going to be a longer. He's going to have a better reach. I think he's got decent striking. I just think he ran into Martin Bravo, and that ended up derailing him a little bit. The next, thank you so much, Ryan Richardson. Kick Your Bass here on Twitter. Kick Your Bass. We're on Haps, professional fisherman extraordinaire over in Kansas City. Amazing dude and one of our sponsors that always supports me since the old MMA for Money show. So I appreciate you, brother. The next fight of the night is going to be an absolute fun one, man. It's going to be that black on black crime, even though it shouldn't be like that. It's Alonzo Menofield versus William Knight. And I'm talking about the bodies of a Gotti are going on in this matchup, bro. Alonzo Menofield is 11-2, called himself Atomic. He's one of those guys that I'm like, hey, bro, don't be walking down the boardwalk with your shirt off when my girl and I are walking by, bro. I don't need you trying to steal all the girls, all right, Alonzo? That's the body that this dude's got. 11-2, 34 years old, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight win streak, fighting out of Texas, baby. Talked about that Texas barbecue. He last took on Ed Shortfuse Herman. He won a unanimous decision. It didn't look as good as it should have towards the end of the round, but round 3, but it is what it was. He beat him. Then he took on Fabio Turan, and he beat him Von Flu choke round 1. Then he lost to OSP, counter left hook, but OSP's OSP. And then he lost to Devin Clark, but Devin Clark is pretty smothering at times. So Alonzo Menofield is going to be taking on William Knight, man. William Knight is going to be a little bit shorter. He's 5'10", 73-inch reach. He's on 33 years old. He's on a 1-fight win streak, fighting out of Hartford, Connecticut. This dude is just mean, man. He throws mean haymakers. There's no secret on what he wants to do. He wants to hit you in your chin and knock you the F out, man. He last took on Fabio Turan. He beat him round 1 left hook. Then he lost to Dong Jung, which Dong Jung is pretty good now that we see. Lost unanimous decision. Then he beat Aleska Kammer. This fight here, man, I think this is Alonzo Menofield's fight to win. I think he's a little bit bigger. I think that because they're both very similar in what they like to do, William Knight's going to have about 1 round of maybe possibility to knock out Alonzo Menofield. But I just feel like Alonzo Menofield, this is the spot to showcase himself and actually get a W. Probably win a 3-round decision. What do you say about this fight, Mr. B?
I hate this fight. I hate this fight. I hate this fight because I like both guys. And I know this fight, after seeing Alonzo Menofield's last fight, and knowing what William Knight is capable of doing, this fight can actually go all 3 rounds. I say that because William Knight is willing to wrestle. Alonzo Menofield is picking up some wrestling, but he's strong with his takedown defense. He has that one-hit knockout power, of course. William Knight possesses the same things too, but William Knight is he plays it a little bit more safe. You will look to mix up the game if the striking is not gonna work, and I don't think he's willing to stand there and take shots from Alonzo Menofield. No. So when I say and I think about it, Alonzo Menofield kind of has more ways to win this fight because he has submissions and he has KOs, where William Knight is more so the KO guy. He's more so the KO guy. Not many submissions under his ledger. And on top of that, man, he's had the 3rd rounds. He's done the decisions, but his decision wins have looked a little iffy before. But I might lean more towards Alonzo on this one. I might have to lean more towards Alonzo. Alonzo changed things up a little bit more for me, man. And if Alonzo could get that man William working before William gets him working, I think he could win this fight.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I think he could win this fight.
Yeah, negative 150.
It's a funny fight, but yeah.
It's going to be exciting, though, to say the least, to watch these two guys go at it. The next fight of the night is going to be a little bit slower paced and probably not as fun. Mallory Martin takes on Cheyenne Baze, who's now Cheyenne Vallisma, because she got mad at her husband during COVID, obviously, and wants a divorce or some kind of a split up in the middle of her whole career. So now we have to call her something else. So Mallory Martin is 7-4. She's 27 years old. She's 5'4" with a 64-inch reach. This chick fights out of Denver, Colorado, which is a good thing. Fights out of Elevation Fight Team, so she has the elevation, obviously, like it says, behind her back, which helps a ton for training. She also, I believe, is that where Thug Rose is, right?
Where?
No, am I
Elevation?
wrong? No, never mind. Sorry.
No, different one. Different.
Yes, Colorado. I got it wrong. So she, over there in Denver, Colorado, she's gonna have the elevation at her back. She last took on Pollyanna Vienna and won, lost armbar round 1. That's not good. She last then beat Hannah Cyphers rear naked choke round 2. Then she got submitted round 2 again. So this chick's lost 2 times in the UFC. 2 out of 3 she's been subbed. She's taking on Cheyenne Baze, like I said, Cheyenne Vallisma now. She's 6-2, 26 years old, 5'3", with a 63-inch reach. She's on a 1-fight win streak, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Ray Cephos, her head coach, her great head coach. She last took on Gloria DePaula. She won the head kick and punches round 1, and then she lost to Montserrat Ruiz, unanimous decision, which it doesn't look good. Then she beat Hillary Rose. So. Cheyenne Baze, Vallisma, whatever you want to call her, if she didn't have maybe the relationship problems going on, obviously she's having some kind of issues at home to make her change her name. There's no damn way I'm betting -200 on Cheyenne Baze, Cheyenne Vallisma, whatever you want to call yourself, because, I don't care who you are. When you're splitting up with a significant other, I don't care if you're Superman. You're still thinking about him or her or all kinds of problems, and I don't need that type of stuff with my fighter. So I'm going to go with the underdog Mallory Martin because it's a low-level women's MMA. I'm not paying the money on Cheyenne Baze. It is what it is. What do you say, B?
I don't know. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Everybody's been talking about that. Whether, I don't know if if there's a split or whatever, but she's going by her boring last name. So, Vallismas, Mallory Martin, Elevation Fight Team. She wrestles. She got good hands, good boxing. I hate her takedown defense. Her jiu-jitsu defense has been kind of iffy. But then again, she had to fight Verna Jandiroba, who's a terror on the ground, and Pollyanna Vienna. Both terrors when it comes to jiu-jitsu, though. Jesus Christ, man. But, Cheyenne's pretty sizey, man. She's a sizable chick. She's under that wrestling, you know what I mean? That over there in Extreme Couture. She was there with always training with her homegirl there, Misha Tate. There you go. Misha Tate, I think, if I remember, I'm not sure, but I think she's still her manager or something like that. But
make that money, Misha. Make
Tate's
that
the one
money,
who
girl.
made that look. Who made that look for Cheyenne to get in.
Get that OnlyFans going, all right?
But yeah, man, was campaigning for her to come in the UFC. She's here. Vallisma has gotten her wrestling a little bit more better now. Since she's trained up, she's with Fortis, she trained there with Extreme Couture, a little bit with Fortis, kind of a mix up there. She's working a little bit better with takedown defense, especially after that last fight, that fight she had with homegirl that kept on catching on the head and arm throw. Jesus Christ. But she's improved her striking a bit better. She's getting a little bit more aggressive that I like. I like that. So, but as you said, we don't know the issues that's going on behind closed doors, So she might go in there a little bit off key. Who knows? Mallory Martin is in need of a win here. Sizable underdog in this one, you said, Mike?
Yeah, it's crazy. I for some reason thought it would be down the middle pick'em. I honestly didn't look at it at all. It's -190, -200. It just went from -190 to -200 Cheyenne Baze. So people are buying Cheyenne Baze, man, and it's weird.
And Cheyenne's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, man. But this is a very close fight. This is a lot closer than what people will give it credit for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, man. If you want to put money, you can probably put your money on Cheyenne, but don't hesitate to put a little something on Mallory Martin and see what happens there, man. Mallory Martin could bring an upset in here, man, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
If actually a good bet would be Later in the week, the odds, the prop makers will drop a little bit later on. Mallory Martin by decision probably be a good number. It's plus 160. She's gonna win. It's gonna be by decision, in my opinion. I don't see her submitting
Yeah.
her or KOing her. So we talked enough about some low-level women's MMA. I can't believe we talked that long
Word.
about two trashy girls like that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I know I'm from Simi Valley, but I wasn't trying to bring no trailer trash Joe Dirt shit around, right? The next
Oh,
fight
shit.
is Zoglis Zugulmulov is taking on Manel Kate, baby. I'll let you jump into this one first.
Oh, this one is very fun. And man, Manel got to win this one. So Zaglas Zumagulov versus Manel Kap. Yep. Kap Cape. First of all, Zalgas. Zalgas, man, 14-5. Zako. My fault. 33 years old, 5'4", with a 66-inch reach, representing that Kazakhstan. Haya. Yeah, man. Arlen MMA Pro Team and whatnot. Last fight he had that nasty standing guillotine choke against Jerome Rivera. Sent Jerome Rivera his pink slip and
Yeah.
sent him home somewhere. Before that, though,
I talked a lot of shit about Jerome Rivera, so I'm glad that happened.
word, because Jerome Rivera, sorry, boy.
Sorry.
You garbage, man. You garbage. You sorry. You sorry.
You don't hear Mr. B ever say stuff like that. I usually am the one talking
No,
shit.
you don't. You don't. But he's sorry, man.
Yeah.
He's sorry.
Yep.
Amir Al Bazi, man. He lost 2 unanimous decision losses before the win against Jerome Rivera to Amir Al Bazi. That was unanimous decision, and the Ruan Paiva one. That one is more debatable. They called it a unanimous decision. It should have went to Zalgas. It could have even been a split decision, but they said unanimous, so that's BS, man. But he got on here after he beat Ali Bagutinov by split decision in Fight Nights Global. Guy Zalgas has good boxing, crazy level of pressure. He throws the occasional nasty leg kick. He likes to use his wrestling here and there, but his boxing is why they matched him up with this dangerous man by the name of Starboy Manel Kap. 16-6, man. 28 years old. 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. Born in Luanda, Angola, but fights out of Portugal. He represents the Versus team, but also trains with American Kickboxing Academy, man. Former Rising Bantamweight champion.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Last fight he beat O'Day Osborne with a flying knee in the round 1. Thought O'Day was gonna put more pressure on him. He didn't. But before that, he lost his second outing against Mateus Nicolau with split decision, and his debut he lost to Alexander Pantoja.
Tough outings, bro. Tough outings.
Yeah, tough outings, yeah.
Pantoja fuck up a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, and Nicolau, that was Nicolau's return, and Nicolau's looked really impressive, man. I tell you what, man, that dude's on the rise in that division. But man, outside of that, man, he tore up a lot of people in Rising there. He did fight Kyoji, lost to Kyoji Horiguchi. Horiguchi's fighting on Friday on Bellator, but we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Good night,
But
Chris.
yeah,
Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, B.
Manel Kap is really, really a dangerous kickboxer, man. One of the more serious guys in this division.
He's sick,
man.
dude. Sick.
But he's just been he had a slow start, man. But he picked it up in his last win, though. But he did miss weight his last fight out. Hoping he makes weight this time around, and hoping we get a hell of a fight in this one. He's been lackadaisical, but when he's on, he's coming in with good pressure, good reads, good feints and setups for his strikes. I like to see him use his low leg kicks to his body kicks. Comes in with the heavy punches. Nasty overhand right. Zumagulov also likes to throw in. He likes to stay more boxing oriented. So that's why I like to see in this fight where Zaglas looks to take away Kop's legs. But even if you take away Kop's legs, Cop still manages to set up his legs with his fist, or he can set up his fist with his legs. He's a very dangerous guy, man.
Yep.
But Zumagulov is gonna look to try to put some wrestling on him. I know that for sure. In
You
this
remember-
one, it's
You
Go ahead.
remember Jerome Rivera had Zalgas kind of on skates on round 1. You remember?
yeah, he did quite a bit, yeah. So I'm looking, yeah, that was crazy. So I'm looking for some of that out of Cop, where Cop is gonna look to try to kick the hell out of Zumagulov's legs, try to rock him a little bit. He's gonna shake that man's base with his leg kicks and look for something to throw, something nasty at Zumagulov.
Yeah.
They made this fight for a reason, because it's right in the wheelhouse of both guys. If Cop is coming in the form that we believe, then Cop should take this one. But it's gonna be a tough fight though against Zalgas.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Tough fight.
It is gonna be a tough one here, man. The odds are. It indicates it's like I said, -250 Manel Cape. I think Manel Cape's gonna win. I think he's gonna knock out TKO KO Zalgas. I don't think Zalgas has the striking to be up in this echelon. And I say that because Jerome Rivera had him on skates for a little bit, and if you go back and watch it, Zalgas was scared and rocked a little bit, and Jerome Rivera had a big old eyes, and he thought he actually had possible finish coming. Manel Cape is not Jerome Rivera. He is way, way better and way more well-versed. The -250 means you got to put $250 to make 100, right? Now, a guy that's coming off of, 2 losses in a row, right?
Who?
Cape, or did he win one finally? No, one. He finally won
Cape
one
won-
after. Yeah, so he lost
Yeah,
the two,
yeah.
and then he won the one
Yeah.
versus Odie Osborne when he needed it really, really badly, right?
Yeah.
This time here, -250 is a lot to ask for. I still think I'm gonna bet 0.5 units on Manel Cape by KO TKO. He's a -250 moneyline favorite. I'm gonna be putting down 0.5 units on a +240 prop. So we're getting a favorite at -250 at a plus, and we're getting a +240 by TKO KO. I think he could actually do this versus Zalgas. I think he's got the striking game. I think it can happen, man. And +240 is really good value, especially on a -250 money line favorite. Because I'm not dropping 2.5 units on Manel Cape's money line. That it would just be irresponsible type betting. But the half a unit flick on Manel Cape to win by KO TKO is a +240 on Bovada right now, and I'm gonna lock in that 0.5 units. So that'll be the first bet of the night for Cope's corner. The next fight of the night, we have Jake Matthews versus Jeremiah Wells. Jake Matthews calls himself the Celtic Kid. He's 17-5, 27 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, fighting out of Melbourne, Australia. This dude was super promising, a prospect that I thought would actually have a high ceiling. He only got stalled recently by a couple bad dudes. Last dude he fought was Sean Brady. Sean Brady's a bad dude. We saw what he just did to Chiesa. He lost the arm triangle choke in round 3. It is what it is. But he beat Diego Sanchez, Emil Meek, and then he lost to Tony Martin, or Anthony Martin, Anaconda choke round 3. So it seems like he likes to tap in round 3 when he does, because both of his recent losses are round 3. He seems to get tired and overpowered, overpressured by the more veteran, more savvy, stronger guy, nonetheless. Jeremiah Wells, he's 9-2-1. He's 35 years old. He's 5'9" with a 75-inch reach. 3-fight win streak, fighting out of Henzo Gracie, Philly, PA. So he's going to have some really good jiu-jitsu. He last fought Warley Alves. He won right hook to ground and pound round 2. Then he won by rear naked choke at CFFC 78. And then another dude, he punched him round 1, beat him. This is... Jake Matthews, man, has that weird thing where it's like he gets anxiety or something and he doesn't perform the way that he should, man. And that's what makes it iffy on if you're going to bet on this kid. I like Jake Matthews. The odds makers have him slightly favored at a -175 favorite. Negative +153 comeback for Jeremiah Wells. It seems like Jake Matthews would be a little bit more favorite if this was a little bit more clear cut versus a guy that's just walking a second fight in the UFC, smoked Warley Alves, who's also a BJJ guy. So I think it's bait for I think it's bait for Jake Matthews, but so I'm gonna pick Jeremiah Wells just because I'm feeling something weird. I feel like this Jeremiah Wells character, he must have something in his arsenal that makes him super sick. He is a BJJ black belt. Oh no, sorry, BJJ black belt is Jake Matthews. Sorry, 1 second. Jeremiah Wells is. I'm trying to see what he was. It doesn't have it actually. Sorry. He's out of Renzo Gracie, so I'm thinking he's pretty well decorated in jiu-jitsu. There's no the stats on him. I just don't trust Jake Matthews' chin, and so I'm just gonna pick the underdog, Jeremiah Wells. What do you say, B?
Ooh.
Sorry for the damn mumbling.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you on this one.
1 second, B. Mel B, my girl from down under. Thank you so much for jumping in for the heart bomb award, the love burst award, the one heart award, the love burst award, the other one heart award to B. We appreciate and love you so much, Mel B, for supporting us and giving us love. Mel B is one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met in my life, man. Just very blessed to have met her here. So thank you so much, Mel B. Sorry, B.
No problem, man. No problem. Always good to support and give credit to your loyal fans, man. Always. But yeah, man. What else did I say?
Sorry, we were going over the fight.
We were talking about the fight, Matthews and Wells,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I took the Wells, and I'm taking a long shot, I guess.
Yeah, this is a tricky fight, man, because you bring up good points, yo. Jake Matthews is a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's fought good caliber. But good. Yeah, his third round is iffy, man. His third round is iffy, and his last couple fights have been kind of, well, if he's fighting some guys that like lackluster or a little old in age is one thing, but he's been bullied, man. He's been bullied. Sean Brady bullied the hell out of him.
Bullied.
You know what I mean? And Rocco Martin wasn't as big, you know what I mean, muscular-wise as Matthews, but he was more on the slim side, but he managed to work him and submit him. You know what I mean? Brady just bullied the hell out of him. And with a guy like Wells is a Renzo Gracie-trained fighter.
I want to know his damn belt, man. I know he's decorated. Sorry.
Yeah, but this dude has KOs and submissions under his belt. He has decision wins, which lets you know that he's using some sort of grappling in his fights to carry these things through, man. He's putting on a licking on some of these guys, some of these fighters, man. Yep. So it's making me wonder a little bit. Like, Jake Matthews is a strong kid, but he's getting bullied up by some of these guys, and Jeremiah Wells might have the same remedy to do the same thing.
This is what I was feeling. I was feeling some. Jeremiah Wells is a BJJ black belt from a decorated Daniel Gracie. So this ain't just like some normal dude, bro. We got an equal, both BJJ black belts. One's from Daniel Gracie. The other one is not. Jake Matthews Sensei is, I think it's David Aviv. 1 second. Let me pull it up for you guys. 1 second. No, I'm sorry. Carlos Vieira. It's Vieira. Not that Vieira's not good. He is wonderful. But, we got a Gracie or we got a Vieira. I don't know. I'm just saying. So this dude now equal to Jake Matthews wrestling, and he's got devastating power, right, B?
Yeah.
So
he has some nasty kick. This is a setup. This got to be some form of a setup.
Let's see the odds on. I'm gonna look up the of course. I see. This is why. So sometimes I try to go on Wednesday nights, so you guys have days to listen to the show before the actual UFC event. But if I could do the show, I'd like to do it on Friday after the weigh-ins. Also, because there's more prop odds available. There's only 3 props available on Bovada, at least for me. I know there's some other ones, 5 Dimes and the likes, that maybe have some other ones. But this is a one where I would look at Jeremiah Wells inside the distance. I think that he could either submit and or KO Jake Matthews, especially if Matthews has that third round deflate job that he does, man. I'm feeling something weird here, B.
Yeah, and if Wells could get this man into deep water, I feel like he gets the win here. He gets the win. I feel it.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, me and B don't normally you mess around. We were pretty sharp. So for us both to feel it, then you might want to bet some money on Jeremiah Wells here. So the next fight of the night, B, I'll let you jump into. It's Maki Patolo from Hawaii, baby, taking on Dusko Todorovic. I'll let you get into coconut bombs first.
Coconut bombs.
I love that.
Shout out
nickname.
to my guy Juice on Friendly Sparring Podcast.
Yeah.
He says this is the worst name for a fighter ever.
Oh,
Coconut
man.
bomb.
Nah, bro. Dude, he's from 808 Hawaii. Coconuts are one of the most plentiful things
Oh,
over
my
there,
God.
bro.
my God.
Survival fact. I was a medic on the ambulance, and I did some search and rescue. If we were on an island and you needed an IV, and you didn't have any fluids, we could crack open a coconut and I could stick it into your vein and I could shoot you. I could give you straight coconut juice and it will hydrate you. That's how gangster coconuts are. So take that back, bro.
Definitely,
get
though,
into it.
man. But Maki Patolo, coconut bombs, man. 31 years old, 5'10" with a 73.5 inch reach, man. Represent Hawaii, man. Oahu. There you go. Last 3 fights, though, man. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He lost to Julian Marquez by Anaconda choke in round 3, which, if you guys remember, that was an insane fight at UFC 258. That was these dudes going back and forth with the damn hooks. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
Then he fought Impa Kasanganai, and he lost by unanimous decision. And then he lost to Darren Stewart, which was another wild fight by guillotine choke. Darren Stewart was my bet, true story. He was my bet on that card, too. Darren Stewart to beat Coconut Bombs.
And
I
nothing's
felt
worse
bad
than the
doing
this last fight you're about to get into is the worst one to talk about. And
His
then he
win
took
against
on,
what?
no, his
Charles
loss.
Bird?
He was doing so good versus versus Julian Marquez, remember?
Oh, yeah, Julian Marquez, yeah. Yeah, he was winning against Julian Marquez.
Dude, 2
That
rounds.
yeah.
2 rounds. he had him.
Yeah.
Holy shit, coconut bomb.
He did. He was landing, but he just got tired. He gassed out. Marquez's chin is something scary, bro.
Oh, man.
That man just got wrestled up, tired out, and then got grappled up, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Patolo lands big bombs. He does pretty solid footwork. He throws heavy shots, man. Heavy to the head. Nasty body work, though. Ooh, my God. I wish he would do more body work against his opponents. He'd probably rack up more wins if he did.
Mm-hmm.
But his always thing is that he just gasses out in those third rounds, man. He got to try to even it out and just catch the flow of things in his shots. Try to like set it up where you're throwing light punches and heavy punches instead of just throwing heavy salvos when necessary. But he's going up against Dusto Todorovic. Todorovic, God, thunder. 27 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Born out of Serbia, fighting out of Serbia. Dusko had a lot of high praise from some of the people on Twitter. And I knew eventually he would land into my Stefan Struve list of fighters. He did.
He is so Stefan Struve. he is like, it's so disappointing. You look at him, you're like, oh, I'm the Russian friggin', or what is he? What is his nationality? Serbian, right?
Serbian.
He's like, I'm the Serbian god or something. It looks all big, 6'1", 74 inches, big old dude, 27 years young, all buff and stuff. But just one of those dudes who gasses and then he just looks soft. It's weird.
Yeah, man, and it's just so crazy to me, man. So his last fight, he fought Gregory Rodriguez, and Rodriguez beat him by unanimous decision. Gregory Rodriguez, our boy from LFA, that we kind of riding high on him now because he's winning fights for Cope's Corner. Best believe that he won our last one. And before that, he lost to Punahele Soriano, and that fight proved it without a doubt. He belongs in that Stefan Struve list of fighters because he has reach and those freaking head movements. he punches so awkward. I don't understand. You just don't lean back and expect to dodge all sorts of punches, bro. You can't just stand still and back. Like, come on, man.
He thinks he's Fizzyev.
Yeah. Use freaking lateral movement, man. What the hell is wrong with you? You don't take your head off the center line and you expect not to get hit? Stupid. So he got knocked out by Soriano, TKO.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Rodriguez had managed to do that same thing, but out-grapple him. But before the Soriano loss, he beat Daquan Townsend. Townsend, you're a sorry excuse of a fighter. I don't know why they signed you in the UFC.
Oh,
You
man.
sucked too.
Yeah, he was
God, they
bad.
cut you. Thank God. You fought in 2 different weight classes, and you still couldn't get it done.
Oh, man.
But he's out. But I digress. Let's get to the facts here. Dusto Todorovic has a good jab. He fights with range. I wish he would establish his range a lot better, though, because Soriano was the key in showing that this guy is still trying to figure out his range when it comes to certain fights and certain fighters. He has to work behind his jab a lot more. Use more rangy strikes, and if people tend to come close to you, then you go ahead and do what he does. He tends to wrap a lot of people up in the clinch. He tires the arms out. He fights with the short distance strikes, a couple little mush forearms and elbows, a lot of knees, a lot of clinch work. He just lulls opponents down, and then he gets the takedown, the occasional takedown, and probably will work from the ground. Top position, try to get TKO or whatever, but that's his whole thing. Maki Pitolo's coming in, as I said, with those heavy shots. This guy's going to have to land to the body, force Todorovic to move forward a little bit and land on that chin. We've learned that Dusko cannot move his head proper. He has bad head movement. Take away that man's range and try to land these shots on him. But you have to be more patient in landing your strikes. In this fight, I would lean towards Maki Pitolo, but because Pitolo's made a lot of bad mistakes in fights before, I would have to lean more so towards Dusko on this one.
I know, right?
And this is why I hate this fight. I hate it, but I would lean more towards Dusko on this.
Yeah,
I would.
You know, it was funny as we were going through this, I was like, oh no. After I got all offended about coconuts not being cool, coconut bombs, I was like, oh no, I gotta back my 808 boy, and I was just like, oh, you know what, dude, he'll clip him. He could punch him in his chin and knock him out, because Dusko is vulnerable to being knocked out. But
Yeah.
the thing with Dusko is a BJJ black belt. That is something that Mackie is not. Mackie has shown that he has a submission weakness. I feel like Dusko Todorovic definitely has a chin issue. He definitely could be knocked out by Mackie.
Yeah.
But he's bigger, and he could get this fight down on the ground and submit him. So I think that Dusko Todorovic, he's a negative 164 favorite, plus the 135 comeback for Mackie. I think that's rightfully so. If you like Mackie, I'd bet on him round 1 or 2 or KO TKO prop only. So that's about all we have to say about that fight there.
Yeah.
The next fight of the night is the first one on the main card. It is Brian Barberena versus Darian Weeks. Brian Barberena calls himself Bam Bam. He's 15-8. He's 32 years old. He's 6 foot with a 72-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, out of the MMA Lab. Great gym over there. Last took on Jason Witt, lost the majority decision. Then he beat Anthony Ivy, unanimous decision. Then he lost to Rude Boy Brown, round 3. Vincente Luque, round 3. Both knees and punches. This dude is all over the place, man. Brian Barberena. I can never tell what's coming. I believe he got in a motorcycle accident, and then he came back, and then he's never been really fully the same. Darian Weeks, he's 28 years young, 5'11", 5-fight win streak. Not much information about this dude, man. He last took on, he's a boxer too, so he's got some really good boxing. He last took on Craig Fairley, won punches round 2. Dustin Parrish, punches round 2. Some of these guys just don't have a lot of experience. That's the only thing I worry about with this guy, Darian Weeks. Because what's the odds? The odds probably have what's his name is mad favorite. Sorry guys. It's There's no odds. Did this fight get pulled? Am I wrong?
No, I don't think this fight got pulled.
There's no odds for it.
I don't
It's
even
weird.
think.
Okay, there's just no odds for it on the Bovada right now, and maybe there's odds on another website. But either way, Bam Bam has the experience here, but I just, man, dude, I just don't trust him. I just don't know what I'm gonna get with him, man. And so I'm just gonna go with the underdog. Don't bet this one. I'm gonna pick Darian Weeks. They must see something cool in this kid to bring him up this short notice and with a 5-0 record. What do you say, B?
I was just about to tell you this is a setup fight.
Yeah.
This is a setup fight. people don't know this, but Darian Weeks was supposed to fight Josh Quinlan on the Contender Series. This is a setup fight. Darian Weeks was supposed to be on the Contender Series. If I remember, I think it's one of the, when was it? Within the first 4 weeks of the Contender Series, right? Yeah, week 2. He's supposed to be on week 2 of the Contender Series. Yep. This guy is nasty. He has a lot of KOs. There's a lot of KOs under this man's belt. He has decisions. He has KOs. There's a list of amateur fights under his belt. He may be 5-0 as a pro, but there is a list of amateur fights under this man's belt. And out of those fights, he's only lost about 4 of those. And that's probably more than 12 fights as an amateur. So take this into consideration. Plus, he took a boxing bout. They're setting people up.
This is a weird one. Because Brian Barberena is like Julian Lane, let me bang, bro. And he's gonna walk right into some shit.
He's gonna go in there and he's gonna look to go for a war. They did this for a reason. If there's no betting odds, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have any on Bovada, but our boy Gary Boxing MMA just said that it's -200 for Brian Barberena. So I like Darren Weeks as the underdog. If that's true, I'd hit the money line, and I want to see the KO TKO prop.
Yeah, I want to as well, because Barberena's gonna go in March, and Darren Weeks is gonna pick him off. Yup, Darren Weeks is gonna look to pick this man off.
Yep.
I'm telling you this right now. This is gonna be an ugly fight. Yeah.
It looks like one of those fights that people just parlay without even knowing who the other guy is, and they just throw Brian Barberena in there, you know?
Yeah. Unless Weeks gasses out, then that's probably it. But I see Darian Weeks looking to space out and land shots, boy.
Yep.
Brian Barberena's in there as a punching bag. That's bad.
I'm glad. Yeah, dude, because boxers are serious, man. And this Darian Weeks, like I said, I felt something fishy because I knew he had some boxing experience. The next fight of the night is going to be an absolute treat as well. Ooh. It is Brendan Allen versus my boy Chris Curtis over here from Gamebred Training Facility. My boy Herman Tirado owns Gamebred Training Facility. My brother's protege, Sean Strickland, trains down there with them. This dude, Chris Curtis, is a savage. He's taking on Brendan Allen. I'll let you jump into it first, B.
Yay. Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis, man. Oh, Lord. All in Brendan Allen, man. Representing Sanford MMA now, man. A lot of those guys are branching out from Rufus Sports to Sanford now, man. Yeah. 25 years old, 6'2" with the 75-inch reach. Flying out of Louisiana, but as we said, it's affiliated with Sanford. Sanford and Rufus Sport. They training, man, getting their kickboxing and their wrestling game up. Last fight he fought Punahele Soriano, where he won by unanimous decision. Good back and forth bout there. We learned about Brendan Allen's chin. Because, oh shit, did Soriano land some bombs on that kid's chin. And he took those things and landed right back at Soriano, man. Even as Soriano rocked, so that's crazy. Before that, though, he beat Carl Roberson. I think Roberson got cut. Did he? That was his last fight?
I believe so.
Roberson? I think so. But he went into this grappling bout, blah, blah, blah. But Sean Strickland, he took a loss. By punches in the second round. Strickland is a psycho. Before that, he beat Kyle Dawkins by unanimous decision. There's a couple other wins he's picked up on his way there as well. But we know the deal with Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's improving his striking, his kickboxing, a long time training with Rufus Sport there. Don't get fooled by the kickboxing because this guy's grappling pedigree is serious as well. That man will catch you slipping and you'll end up sleeping. He's going up against Chris Curtis, the action man, 27-8. Oh, yeah. 5'10" with a 75-inch reach. Born out of Cincinnati, Ohio, but training in Las Vegas. Extreme Couture, yeah. Last fight he had, we had picked him to win against Phil Hawes, which he did. Counter left hook. Counter left. Round 1 for 4 minutes 27.
Thank you,
Kenny Robertson, he beat he beat him in XMMA, no problem. Jerome Hatch, he beat him in Fierce FC. And then, he fought a couple guys at Icon and whatnot. And, he had that PFL run, which is pretty dope. But, he didn't get to win. But he was there, though. Improved a lot in his takedown defense, using takedowns when necessary. But his bread and butter has always been his striking. His fluidity, head movement, how he likes to roll and, avoid certain punches. He has that nice little quick thing, a little quick head turn, real life. Where you roll with punches, no duh. I just said it. And the shoulder dips a little bit here and there. He likes to get a little fancy up in there. He's going to need to use his takedown defense against a guy like Brendan Allen. Don't get lulled into nothing stupid, because Brendan Allen will snatch your leg, will snatch your arm, will attempt to snatch your neck. And Brendan Allen is improving with his striking. He's throwing nasty knees in the clinch, the close range. He's landing good shots now, good shot selection. Throwing the occasional head kick in there. Nasty body kick Brendan Allen is developing as well, man. And he's getting a killer instinct in there too, man. So I like this fight. This is a fight Brendan Allen needs to get himself in rhythm and back to focus. Chris Curtis, Chris Curtis beats Brendan Allen, man. They're gonna be looking at him in the middleweight division for sure. As far as a pick goes, I want to rock Chris Curtis, but I know how dangerous Brendan Allen could be, man.
I know.
I'm still undecided. I'm going to go undecided on this one, man. I'm just going to enjoy this fight. If I make a pick, that'll be probably sometime before the week ends. But right now, I am totally undecided. I'm undecided.
Yeah, this one is super tough for me. I have a little bit of biasness and love for Chris Curtis from him training with my brother's protege, Herman Tirado, and also Sean Strickland and the likes. So I feel like that Brendan Allen, obviously great dude, really good jiu-jitsu. That's his strong point is jiu-jitsu before it is striking. He does have a little bit of a chin issue if he gets rocked. I could say that. Man, Chris Curtis here, dude. This guy hasn't been. He's been submitted once by heel hook. Heel hooks and rear naked chokes and arm bars and all that are way different. Heel hook, I can't blame anyone for tapping into a heel hook. He's really pretty much not been submitted. So Brendan Allen, with Chris Curtis training with my boys over there, BJJ black belts and savages like Sean Strickland in the UFC. I just feel like Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis is getting very good looks of Brendan Allen's body type off of Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is pretty much very similar to Brendan Allen, but Sean Strickland has way better boxing in my opinion. I love Sean Strickland. So this is a weird one, man. Chris Curtis, I'm picking Chris Curtis to win here for sure. I'm backing my boy. I can't not, because he hasn't given me a reason not to. If he tapped multiple times and if he showed me to be weak, then I would understand. But I like Chris Curtis here. I'm going to be the one going against the grain, and I'm going to pick Chris Curtis to win here. The next fight of the night is going to be Jimmy Crute versus Jamal Hill, man. And this one is going to be a lot of fun. Jimmy Crute, the Brute Crute, 12-2. He's 25 years young, 6'2", with a 74-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak. Fight on Melbourne, Australia. Last took on Anthony Smith, lost round one. Leg injury went all weird when Anthony Smith damaged his leg, but looked good up to that point. Then he beat Modestas Bukauskas round one. Then he Kimura to Michael Ozolchek round one, and lost to Misha Serkinov round one. So Jimmy Crute is fun and all over the place. He's beat some good guys, and then he's also lost to some good guys. Jamal Hill, dude, sweet dreams, 8-1, 30 years old, 6'4", huge, 79-inch reach, one fight losing streak, fights out of Michigan. Really good striking, man. Last lost to Paul Craig from arm injury, strikes from guard. Pretty much just got his arm dislocated. Then he beat OSP, Klitzen Abreu, no contest, which is pretty much, I think, should have been a win. Then Darko Stosic, who's a lot like Dusko Todorovic. And so, man, dude, Jamal Hill's going to have a huge reach advantage here I think it's going to show up. I think that if Brute Crute does not get this dude on his back in ground and pound, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble standing. The odds makers right now have, sorry guys, Curtis. Why is it all mixed up? It's crazy how bad it's shuffled on Bovada right now. It's crazy. Jimmy Crute is -175 favorite, plus 145 comeback for Jamal Hill. I like Jamal Hill here, man. I think that he could win as an underdog. Almost a bet I would put down on the money line for Jamal Hill. But I think this is a spot where Jamal Hill showcased himself. What do you think about this fight, Mr. B?
I like this fight. This is a good fight. This is a good fight. Jimmy Crute's been that dude that's been in the division for quite a while. And he's just been up and down the division somewhat. You know what I mean? He had that big opportunity to beat up Anthony Smith and get up there, but you know, the leg messed up. Big time boxing. He's been training a lot with Robert Whitaker, which is really letting you know that he's really trying to get up there. So he's looking to build up that wrestling game and better up that kickboxing game. But a guy like Jamal Hill, man, god damn.
I know.
This is ugly, boy. For 6'4" and 79-inch reach, Jamal Hill just got embarrassed by Paul Craig. He's coming in here to take this man's soul on Saturday, boy.
Yeah, he is.
Yo, I'm telling you, Jamal Hill striking, maybe some of the best striking on Saturday. We might see some of the best Jamal Hill we've seen since he's been fighting in the UFC, man. I'm telling you that for sure. If Crute doesn't close in and try to get takedowns early and often, Jamal Hill's going to pick this man apart and get it done within 2 rounds, man. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep.
Right now.
That's how good his striking really is, man. And so if me and Mr. B both are feeling Jamal Hill, there's something here, man. And like I said, Jimmy Crute, good on the ground, but his stand-up is not up to par to some of these guys that are on the upper echelon of the sport up here. So, especially at the 205-pound mark. The next fight of the night is Clay the Carpenter Guida versus Leonardo Santos. Mr. B, I will let you jump into that first.
Hey, OGs, man. OG, let's go.
OGs.
Clay Guida, yup. OG, Clay Guida, the Carpenter, man. Oh, my God, man. What we don't know about Clay Guida, man. Damn near 40 years old, 39, 5'7", 70-inch reach, multiple time fight of the night, performance of the night, submission of the night winner. The man's had a list on list on list of Hall of Fame fights. Him versus Diego Sanchez.
Dude, what's crazy? What's crazy is my brother on the Ultimate Fighter finale, season 6. You see the jersey behind me. My brother won fight of the night over Clay Guida versus Roger Horta on the main card for that.
I was just about to mention that.
And so my brother and J-Rock took the honors in the $50,000 check that night. So sorry to interrupt you, but it's just fun facts here. But Clay the Carpenter Guida.
It's crazy.
Yep, was here since War Machine fought.
Yup. And for you to outbeat Clay Guida in a scrap, your scrap got to be violent as all hell, man.
Oh, it was. It was bloody.
Yes, it was.
It was so bloody and fun, man. J-Rock versus War Machine, my brother John Copenhaver. Yeah, I know he's an idiot.
Definitely,
it is what it is. Good fighter, though. But yeah, dude,
definitely.
It's, you know, so Clay Guida versus Santos. Who do you have here on this one? I interrupted you.
Man, no, it's okay, man. Clay's been up and down the win and losses. Marco Madsen lost, but beat Michael Johnson. Lost to Bobby Green. Lost to Jim Miller, but beat BJ Penn. Freaking, man. Then you got Leonardo Santos. And Santos here is a damn... Santos has been all right, but Santos lost, man. Leonardo Santos. What was his last loss? His last loss was Grant Dawson. Now, Leonardo Santos is 41. 6 foot tall with a 75-inch reach, representing Nova União. He's been training with Jose Aldo on this card. They specifically trained together for both of their opponents. He lost to Grant Dawson, but beat Roman Bogatov by unanimous decision, knocked out Stevie Ray, and split decision Adriano Martins. That was like years ago, though. But, yeah, man. This fight is a good fight. As we know, Leonardo Santos has jiu-jitsu. He's going to look to stand up and land big. Clay Guida got to duck some of these strikes. If Clay Guida could just put the constant wrestling pressure that we know Clay Guida to have on Leonardo Santos, he wins this. Anyhow, he gives Leonardo Santos range to land that big overhand, then we're in problems. We're in serious, serious problems. I think Clay Guida could get this done. I'm hoping he goes and gets this done. But it's a tough out to ask for him against a guy like Leonardo Santos. But with that said, I'm going to lean towards Clay Guida on this one because it's Clay Guida, goddammit. It's Clay Guida.
Dude, what's crazier about this is that Clay Guida is younger than his opponent. When have you said that in the year 2000s, pretty much, man? Clay Guida's 39, Leonardo Santos is 41.
Yep.
The size difference here is what scares me. It's 6 foot for Leonardo Santos, and Clay Guida is much smaller at the 5'7". This is the difference between the weight class. Like in weight classes nowadays in the younger generation, they're just huge, man.
Yeah.
It's like I want to pick Clay Guida, but man, Leonardo Santos, he beat Kevin Lee, which is decent. Martins, Ray. I mean, man, dude, I don't know if I can. What's the odds at? Let's see the odds first. The odds are plus 155 with Clay Guida, negative 190 for Leonardo Santos. Man, as much as I love the OG here, I can't bet. I just can't. I'm gonna pick Santos here.
You pick Santos?
I have to. Yeah. I just don't bet it. It's just I just don't see how Clay Guida is gonna bully around such a guy that's so much bigger, So, but then with that said, the next fight of the night is the best fight of the night. Absolute violence will be for sure. Fight of the night. Strikers delight of the night. Rafael Fizzyev is taking on Brad Riddell in the co-main event. Rafael Fizzyev is 10-1, 28 years young, 5'8" with a 71.5-inch reach. He's on a 4-fight win streak, fighting out of Tiger Muay Thai. He's the head coach over there. Fucking Thailand, baby. Muay Thai. He last took on Bobby Green and looked dominating in a unanimous decision. Then he took on Renato Moicano and smoked him in round 1. Mark Daikisi. I mean, this dude is just absolutely fucking amazing, man. I just love his striking defense, his striking offense, the way that he does combos. Everything with this dude is absolutely amazing. He's taking on Brad Riddell, who's 30 years old, 5'7", 71.3-inch reach. He's fighting out of, says fuck it, Thailand himself, Tiger Muay Thai. But if that ain't so, he's fought there before, but he's more from City Kickboxing is the real affiliation with him. I don't know why Tapology's tripping, son. Last took on Drew Dober, won a unanimous decision, and my boy Drew Dober, I love him, and he looked good beating him. He took on Alex Da Silva, unanimous decision, and Magomed Mustafa, unanimous decision. This is going to be an absolute treat. I love Rafael Fizzyev. I'm all about his striking, and I think his defense is where it wins. I'm going to be throwing down $115 on his money line for Rafael Fizzyev to win, to just beat Brad Riddell straight up. I think that he's just superior, and his defense is going to be there, and this is going to be an absolute treat. So this will be the second bet of the night for Cope's Corner. $115, 1.15 units on Rafael Fizzyev to do his thing. What do you say about this fight, B?
Oh man, this is gonna be a really good fight, man. This is the big fight right here, man. Other than the main event, this is the fight, man. Fizzyev has been on a menacing run so far, just destroying people with that heavy kickboxing, quick combinations.
Yep.
Defense is fire. Although his last fight was pretty questionable, Bobby Green. Let's just say because Bobby Green's experience. That's all that was. That was Bobby Green's experience showing through.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But Rafael should have, picked up some things from that fight, man. This is a really good fight. The thing that's gonna worry me in this fight is not the skill level, but Brad Riddell's cardio. Brad Riddell gets stronger with each round.
Uh-oh.
If this fight goes within the middle of the second to the third round, Brad Riddell's going to be strong as hell. But the problem is, how many strikes is Brad Riddell going to have to eat between then and if it gets to the last round? Brad Riddell has his own power too. And he's pretty neat, and he likes to throw in the quick takedown in fights. He gels that thing in pretty fast. He doesn't have a read on it. He just throws that thing whenever he's striking or whatever, and he just has to quick change levels real quick. He'll throw that takedown. And it's going to be a matter if Fizzyev could see that coming, and how he reacts, if he's throwing any counters on that takedown attempt or whatnot. And if he keeps this fight standing, Fizzyev just goes in with that constant pressure and putting those skills to the test, man. Fizzyev ekes out this decision win possibly. He could catch Riddell lacking though, and possibly get a knockout. He could possibly finish Riddell.
Yep.
I see that there for sure. It's just a matter of Fizzyev finishes this before 2 rounds, within 2 rounds. If it gets to a 3rd round, it gets risky. But I think Fizzyev should get it done. Should be able to get this win here, man.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad you agree. This is going to be a treat. And no disrespect to Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell is a monster, amazing striking. This is going to be an absolute treat to watch. Thank you so much, Gary, for the celebration award and for all the awards you've given me today and for supporting me and Mr. B. Can't thank you enough. So with that said, that's the co-main event. That's the second bet of the night for Cope's Corner. Rafael Fizzyev, 1.15 units on the money line. The next fight of the night will be the 3rd bet of the night and the last one for Cope's Corner. And we have the main event. We have the OG legend, Jose Aldo versus Rob Font. Jose Aldo, Junior Aldo, he called himself, 30-7. He's 35 years old. He's 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight win streak, fighting at Nova União. Great camp over in Brazil. And then he last took on Pedro Munez and looked like an animal. Marlon Vera looked like a stud. Unanimous decision wins on both of them. And then he lost to Peter Yan, ground and pound, round 5. Round 5, making it with Peter Yan is pretty impressive for such a G as Jose Aldo is. He's taking on Rob Font. Rob Font has great boxing, 19-4, 34 years old. He's 5'8" with a 71.5-inch reach. He's on a 4-fight win streak, fighting out of Boston, Massachusetts. 5'8", 71.5-inch reach. I forgot if I said that or not. Sorry if I repeated it. He last took on Cody Garbrandt, won a unanimous decision. Then Marlon Moraes punches round 1, and Ricky Simone. Those are all cute, fine, and dandy, and I'm all fans of a couple of those guys, but that is sure as shit not Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is an absolute savage, man. This dude has been in there with the best of them. 5'7", 5 versus 5'8". They're both about the same exact size, almost the same reach, but Jose Aldo's going to have the kick advantage. He has the ground advantage. If Jose Aldo wants to submit Rob Font, he will. If he wants to, he can. If he wants to knock him out and kick his ass, he can do that too. This is a 5-round fight where I think that Rob Font is a little bit in over his head versus a guy, an OG veteran that I told you on Cope's Corner. I don't bet against the OG vets when they have gas left in the tank. And Jose Aldo is one of those guys that has gas left in the tank. He's being disrespected right now at the plus 123 number for Jose Aldo's money line on Bovada. I'm throwing down 2 units. $200 on Jose Aldo at the plus 123 number for Jose Aldo to absolutely dominate and just show the kid that there's levels to this game. So let's go, Jose Aldo. What do you think about this fight, Mr. B?
Ooh. You said he's an underdog in this fight?
Underdog. These fools are tripping, smoking rock.
You see? Now, if he was the favorite,
then I trip.
I would have said Rob Font. I don't like this now.
Nope.
They made him the underdog. I don't like that. If Aldo was the favorite, I would have said Rob Font.
Yep.
But now you're saying that he's the underdog? I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm concerned a bit now. I'm concerned a bit. Because I would have told you right now, I'm going for Rob Font. But now I'm worried that Jose Aldo is the underdog in this fight. Jose Aldo, long-time featherweight, the GOAT of the featherweight division. I don't care what anybody says. This man has been at it for so long. And people forget that he's still young in the game, man. 35, though, you know what I mean? But still fighting top competition, man. Rob Font had a hiatus. He had that injury. He came back. He's putting people out. Marlon Moraes, he slept that man. Cody Garbrandt, he pieced that man up. It was a little rocky with that Cody Garbrandt fight. Just a little bit, not a lot, but he did dominate the majority of the rounds there, yeah. The Marlon Moraes, as I said, cleaned them. Ricky Simone, he beat Ricky Simone. The thing with Rob Font that people are to underestimate, I know Aldo's been through all those fights, all those wars, and a lot of that, but Rob Font is a dangerous guy to be fighting against. And credit to Jose Aldo for saying, yo, I'm taking this fight. Because Jose Aldo's looking to jump into that division, really jump. Like, yo, all right, I beat Font. I won next in the title hunt. I won next in the title fight. You know what I mean? Aldo got the nasty mid-range, the long range. He's bettering up his boxing, throwing those jabs out there. Always working behind the jab, the hooks, the uppercuts. He has the flying knees, the head kicks. His footwork's always fast. He has the legendary dangerous leg kicks. You know what I mean? His jiu-jitsu game, he's showing more of his jiu-jitsu game now than before. You know what I mean? Snatching the back takes, you know what I mean? Getting those control time on the ground. He did that with Marlon Vera and whatnot. Rob Font is a dangerous guy, though. He throws these crazy... Well, Aldo has the feints, too. But Rob Font's a dangerous dude because he sets up things. Not to say Aldo doesn't set up things. But Rob Font's a lot more dangerous because Rob Font has that kickboxing. And sometimes when you get caught up in Rob Font's game, you forget that he could kick. If Rob Font's kicking early, you forget his punches. And when Rob Font lands dangerous hands, you end up getting messed up, boy. I wanted to pick Rob Font, but damn, Mike, you put a damper on my plans now, man. When you told me Aldo's the underdog, you put a damper on him, dude.
Yeah,
God damn, dude.
And another fun fact here is that Jose Aldo, for the last year, has been training with the Brazilian Navy, their boxing team. So this dude has been working on nothing but boxing, and he's going to be throwing some mean-ass body shots, some sick combos, mixed in with the kicks. And like I said, he's got the jiu-jitsu edge 100%. So, man, like I said, I like it enough where I got to back the OG veteran, Jose Aldo, and is what it is. So we're putting $200.
Yeah, I'm going to have to,
Yep, on Jose Aldo to do his thing. So with that said,
if Rob Font wins, though, I will bug out. If Rob Font
but with that said, though, that is UFC Fight Night, Font versus Aldo, also known as UFC Vegas 44. We went a little bit long-winded with an hour and 22 minutes on it, but there is Bellator 277 Pettis versus Horiguchi on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm heavily favoring Horiguchi to win this fight, so if you like him, bet him, and I like Emmanuel Sanchez in the co-main event, so... I can't thank you enough, Mr. B, for being here with me. If you want to shout out your Twitter handle before I end this.
Sure, man. You catch me on Twitter, Mr. B, at Mr. B 1986. I'm here on Haps, man. Mr. B, the MMA guy. We'll be on here Friday, definitely, man, to watch the Bellator fights. I'll come on early because they're doing the prelim stream. And since we can't do the damn links for the prelims no more, I can't do the prelim links, so I'm going to have to start the stream from early time. So, yeah. I'll be on there since the prelims, the whole,
So if you guys ever are out and about and want to catch the live stream, make sure you tune in to Mr. B. He always keeps us filled in. And with that said, I'd like to thank Gary MMA, Mel B, Chris Humble, every single person who in the chat that has been interacting with us.
Definitely,
every single one of the donations and the awards and everything that you guys have given us. And until next week, till we cash those bets, we'll see you next time.